Something I've always found interesting is how my very first product manager interview went. It was for the Yahoo APM program, and the reason I want to share this story is to show that product management isn't something that's complex and you go to school and take courses on. It's something that's rooted in everyday observations and thoughts. Let's talk about it. The day of the interview, I booked a study room in our library, and I'm waiting for the phone call. Here's what you need to know about our study rooms. Our library's kind of old, and so the rooms are all kind of meh. You know, there's a chair, a table, sometimes there's a whiteboard, there are never markers. Basically, it's an empty room. And so I'm waiting for the call. It comes, we go through the standard intro stuff, and then he asks the first question. Can you guess what the first question was? It's the most basic, obvious product management question there is. It's so cliche that I doubt anyone is still using this question, or at least I hope not. If I had done just one bit of research, I would have come across this question and prepared my answer to it. But I didn't, unfortunately. The question was, what's your favorite product? So I'm sitting there, growing increasingly panicked as my mind draws a blank. I looked around the room. It was an empty room. I start scanning my possessions. Laptop? That would be like saying my favorite product is air or water. Phone? Okay, that would be like saying my favorite product is air. I have a backpack with me, and I am really into backpacks. Like, did you know people could be into backpacks? I am ridiculously into backpacks for someone who has never gone backpacking, and now I work from home, so I don't even have a reason to use my backpack. But this is more of a pedantic, nerdy thing. It's not something I could explain over the phone to a stranger. So, not the backpack. I keep looking around, and I see the only thing left on the table. AirPods. This was in 2018, and AirPods had just come out. They were so out of stock that when I finally got mine, my roommate picked them up and asked, "What is this? Floss?" But in the tech world, AirPods were the craze. Anyone who got them instantly knew why they were such a big deal. So were they cliche? Yes. But I was out of options, so I said AirPods. We riff for a bit, and then he hits me with the second question. Again. But it was new to me. He asked, what would you improve? Improve? We had just spent the past 5 minutes talking about how great AirPods were. Apple are the design gods. They were the ones who courageously removed the headphone jack.
But it really comes down to one word. Courage.
To show us the light of AirPods. Who was I to criticize? Oh wait. Actually, there was one thing. I would take one AirPod with me on runs so I could hear cars and stuff, and then when I got back, I would put the other one in. But sometimes it wouldn't connect. And so I had to take it out and put it back in the case and put it back in my ears, and it still wouldn't work. So you take both of them out of your ears and it still doesn't connect. So you check on your phone, but the phone just says they're still connected, and it's infuriating. So lacking the courage to criticize anything else, I could go with that. And then I thought about it some more, but this time I was actually thinking about it. It wasn't like I just suddenly put on my product manager hat or anything. It was just me as a person who was annoyed at his AirPods. And I realized that I had honed in on that specific issue for a reason. I mean, sure, there were many other things with AirPods, right? Like, for one, their battery life was pretty short. And so you had to do the dance of using one while charging the other, and then you switch them out. But that problem was visible. It was solvable. I engineered a solution for that myself. And so that's why I didn't jump to mind immediately. But for the problem I described, the one AirPod not connecting, I couldn't solve it. I was reduced to just trying shit. Apple insists on things just working, and so when they don't just work, there's no recourse. Back then, the UI didn't even acknowledge that there were two AirPods in a pair, let alone let you know when one of them didn't automatically connect to your phone. My problem was with information, not features. I was able to recognize the structure of that frustration, not because I had thought about it beforehand, but because I had actually gone through that experience multiple times in my programming assignments. Part of programming is debugging, and you're not upset at the fact that you have bugs in your code. That's an inherent part of programming. It's a limitation in humans that you accept. But what frustrates you is if you don't know why it's not working. If you don't have a view in the system and you reduce it just banging on shit randomly until it starts working again. And even when you do solve it that way, it's a hollow, unsatisfying victory. Because you know the next time you run into that problem, you're not any better equipped to solve it. So I described that. We riff on a solution. He actually mentioned an edge case I forgot about, and I was just like, shit, that is a problem. And we laughed about it. I made it past that interview, and actually I made it past the whole series to get my first PM job, but that's not the point. The point is this. Product management isn't some magical complex topic. It is not some skill you're born with or something you need to go to school for or take courses on. It's just noticing and thinking. The reason I got past that interview wasn't because I had memorized cracking the PM interview or done 100 practice problems. It was because, by nature, I took an interest and noticed what annoyed me. The common thread that unites nerds and product managers is our ability to descend into the particular. Do that enough times, and you'll start to notice patterns. Be annoyed enough, and you'll start to think of solutions. Notice, think, and solve. Everything else is just a refinement on those 3 steps. I can't believe I still have these. These are just like... I had to put the case down, otherwise I kept on clicking it during the video, and